Putting together the ultimate cyberpunk gaming room, or perhaps an impromptu tiki bar in the garden, neon rope lights can offer a stunning visual aesthetic well beyond what you can get from a basic LED strip light. Now, there are three major players with Matter-compatible neon-esque rope lights, all with pretty similar offerings at first glance. But which is right for you? In this video, I'll be breaking down the three major players with Matter native neon rope products. That's Govee, Nanoleaf, and SwitchBot. I'm James Bruce, you're watching MatterAlpha.com. You've clearly made good choices today by clicking on this video, so let's keep that up. Now, all of these are Matter compatible and Wi-Fi connected. They do not use Thread, but all also offer Bluetooth connectivity used for both immediate setup and local close range control. All of them have connected apps as well and offer broadly the same colors or brightnesses, as well as gradient options in various qualities. So what's actually different then? So let's start with physical differences and installation, assuming you're going to put it on a wall and not on yourself. The Nanoleaf option, give me a second, is physically the thinnest of the three, maybe 2/3 the width of the others. And that does have a pretty significant impact on the final product. Not to say in a bad way, but it is slightly different. So if these look too chunky for you, Nanoleaf may be the better option. Now, one thing I will note is that the SwitchBot and Govee ones are rated for a maximum of 48 watts of power, while Nanoleaf is only 24 watts, which results in a much smaller plug. And truthfully, I mean, you're watching this, I can't see a visual difference. It feels as bright as the others. All of these have the DC adapter built directly into the plug. Now, all three options come with some basic plastic clips which can be stuck to a surface and optionally screwed in. Nanoleaf provided 30 clips in their 5-meter kit. Govee and SwitchBot, however, offer the most comprehensive installation method in that they supply both standard plastic clips as well as bendable metal ones, which are much better at producing sharp curves or specific curves where you don't just want to let it sort of go where it goes and go with the flow. There were 10 of these bendable doubles and 15 normal clips in both of the 5-meter sets. So all of these rope lights are good at making smooth, natural, flowy curves and less great when it comes to sharper corners, which is why these bendable clips are much better for that. And just to note that while the SwitchBot and Govee clips look identical, they're actually different enough that they aren't interchangeable. The profile is ever so slightly different, so during testing I had to replace them all when I swapped over, which I actually wasn't planning to do because they looked identical, but I did in the end. Now, personally, what I found really difficult when dealing with any neon rope light is that you sort of have a cool design drawn out or printed out from the internet, and then it's time to make the shape on your wall, but you have absolutely no idea how big to make it. Unless you're doing something completely freeform, it's impossible to measure accurately. So what I did while writing this comparison was to code up a free tool, which you can find over at neonropedesigner.com. Just load in your image or SVG file, then use the pen tool to trace around where your rope light will go. Just roughly speaking, it's not an exact science, but then the app will scale the design for you and measure exactly how large your design is going to be when you follow that line, including a total width and height, so you can sort of see how big it will be on your wall before you commit to it. At that point, you can either switch for a smaller rope size to see how that looks, or you can redo the line trace if you want to expand or contract it slightly, or you can just save your output and project it onto a surface, which is the easiest because then you can just match up the scaled elements. The cubes in the corner show you 10 centimeters and 1 inch square, or the background grid is in 5 centimeter increments. So if you have trouble figuring out how big your design will be with various rope lengths, then I would highly encourage you to go try my free tool today. And with that, I sketched out this little design from the Noun project made by Olena Panasovska. You'll find quite a few so-called one-line icons there that are ripe for neon rope designs, and I set about making that with all of the various fixing methods. So as I mentioned, the bendable metal supports that Govee and SwitchBot have are a big help in complex designs like this, particularly when it comes to sort of 90 degrees or even sharper angles. Nanoleaf doesn't provide these, but you can achieve a similar result with 2 of the normal clips because it's a lot more flexible. Since the Nanoleaf rope is overall less chunky, it also bends into those shapes a lot easier. However, I will say that I found the Nanoleaf clips to have the least amount of grip overall of all of them, resulting in a lot of difficulty when it came to the overlapping shapes. Now, one thing that isn't obvious at first glance is that Govee rope, which one's that, is a lot less flexible and forgiving when it comes to crossing over itself, and also for overlapping parts. You can see that even with additional supports, it's sort of barely hanging on in the filament part of the design. It works, but it's difficult to say the least. With that in mind, my award for easiest to fix down and install goes to SwitchBot. It just felt a lot more flexible in both directions when it comes to crossing over. The clips have really good grip, and the metal bendable clips help a lot with sharp angles. That's followed a close second by Govee, only because it's a little bit less flexible, with last place going to Nanoleaf. The single grip points on the clips will be fine for simple designs, but for more complex ones, it just doesn't have the friction needed to keep things in place. So let's talk about the lengths and color options that are available. For the basic Neon Rope Light 2 product from Govee, Govee offers both 3 meter or 9.8 feet and 5 meter, 16.4 feet length. Each available in both black and white with that's the rubber backing color. SwitchBot comes in one style and one length, 5 meters white. Nanoleaf also offers a single SKU, the 5 meter white model, and doesn't currently offer any other neon rope styles for desks, walls, or freestanding objects. Now, SwitchBot offers one unique variant called the Neon Wire Rope Light, which is 2 meters white and offers an internal semi-rigid wire that allows you to bend it into shape into freestanding objects without having to affix it to a wall or a board, so that's really cool. Govee, meanwhile, offers a number of special neon rope light variants for both walls and desks. So these are flat and a lot more flexible for corners, and they're both available in 3 and 5 meter variants. Now, in terms of sheer options and suitabilities for a gaming room then, Govee is the clear winner here, followed by SwitchBot for their unique freestanding wire variant, and then Nanoleaf coming in last with a single neon rope light product. Though I will note that the rest of the Nanoleaf lighting range is extensive, far more than, say, SwitchBot offers, though Govee still takes the overall lighting crown for having about hundreds of types of lighting to suit all different needs and budgets. Now, in terms of visual quality, while this is somewhat subjective, both Govee and Nanoleaf win out for me when it comes to visual quality, with seemingly smoother gradients. The SwitchBot neon rope has obvious segments in every scene, and you can almost see the individual pixels inside. It's not as obscure as I'd like. Ultimately, they all work in blocks of around 3 pixel segments, but either it's in the scene programming to just have more natural transitions, or because they have more opaque white rubber on the top to blend the light better. But either way, the Nanoleaf and Govee models just look a bit better. Nanoleaf overall offers the smoothest transitions of all, with no segments or pixels visible in any scene. That said, SwitchBot appears to have the whitest and brightest pure white mode, and this might sound weird, but the solid colors also felt like the most authentically neon to me. So that's the green, the pink, and the blue. They all felt like they actually had some more sort of powerful UV element to them. Still, top marks overall for Govee and Nanoleaf here, with SwitchBot coming in second. In terms of on-device controls, both SwitchBot and Govee has the simplest 3-button controller with on-off, brightness, and scene buttons. Nanoleaf has the most complex controller with separate buttons for brightness, up and down, rather than just cycling through with one button. So how about app controls? While all of these devices that I've tested support Matter for unified control, you'll still need the individual apps for anything beyond brightness and color control. And as a side note, I would always recommend adding these to their respective apps first before you add it to your Matter controller. Doing so in the wrong order can be weird. Nanoleaf, for instance, added perfectly to Apple Home using the Matter pairing code. First time, no problems at all. But when I used the Nanoleaf app, it appeared to already be there, but then was unable to control any of the scenes because of a network issue. Adding the device to the Nanoleaf app then seemed to fix that, so either way, I would say first add it to the app before you add it to Matter. The Govee Home app offers the most comprehensive scene designer, but it's also the most confusing and not at all intuitive for new users. The app is also generally cluttered with multiple sections that sort of make it incredibly frustrating if you just want to control one device simply. In terms of creating your own scenes then, the Nanoleaf app actually impressed me the most, with a simple workflow of pick a color scheme, pick an effect, customize the parameters. And it just makes more sense. It flows better. The community scenes were less impressive, and some of the patterns didn't seem to transfer well to the neon rope light format, but overall, the Nanoleaf app is a lot easier to use than Govee. It just doesn't have nearly as many sort of built-in scenes. As for SwitchBot, the app encompasses a lot more than just lighting, so it's understandably both more complex and not really designed for lighting. Perhaps it's just that the built-in scenes are weak too, but overall the SwitchBot app felt like the weakest. Top points for Nanoleaf here then, Govee in second and SwitchBot bringing it up the rear. Now I also want to talk about the wider ecosystem, and this is key. Both Nanoleaf and Govee support integrations that go well beyond a smartphone app, with each offering screen syncing Ambilight style systems that match what's on your TV, monitor, either from first-party desktop apps on your PC or Mac, or HDMI signal analysis boxes which are sold separately. They also both, that is Nanoleaf and Govee, have a pretty extensive API that supports third-party software such as LightLink, which offers incredible sort of pre-programmed musical shows and ambient soundscapes. SwitchBot, well, it doesn't do any of that, with no apparent way to use their neon rope lights for anything other than app control and via Matter. While it does support automation like motion activated directly from within the SwitchBot ecosystem and obviously over Matter, and there is some sort of API available, it isn't yet integrated with third-party software or other synchronized light shows, and I think it's unlikely to be in the short term because it doesn't appear to offer segment or pixel control over the API. Now this could be because the product is relatively new, only having been launched sort of at the tail end of 2025, but for now, other options are better if you want the wider integration. So in terms of that wider ecosystem and use beyond Matter in the app, Nanoleaf slightly gains the edge here again, having partnered with more third-party software such as Engine DJ, direct integration with the DJ decks, and I also found reference to a first-party DMX to Nanoleaf adapter, though that's only for the older panels product, but it does at least show that Nanoleaf is more open to professional lighting installations. For those of you who don't know, DMX is pretty much the standard when it comes to intelligent stage and theatre lighting. That's sort of scanning head, beams and remote control smoke machines, that kind of thing. I did ask Govee about DMX support and they basically said no, consumers are our focus. So in terms of wider ecosystem, Nanoleaf comes out on top, Govee in second, and SwitchBot quite far behind. Okay, let's talk about Matter support briefly because we are Matter Alpha after all. And in theory, Matter as a unified standard should be identical across all products of the same type, and broadly it is. Both Govee and Nanoleaf connected to my Apple Home using Matter out of the box with no issues at all. Scanned the QR code, boom, done. SwitchBot did not. Now they sent me 2 sets of neon rope lights and it took me about half hour of trying until one of them worked at least. I wish I knew what the trick was with that one. Sadly I don't. I tried a 2.4 gigahertz network only, even though the other devices didn't have a problem with my dual 5 gigahertz band network. Tried adding it to Home Assistant, which sort of failed, but actually seemed to crash the controller like the light scene paused. So I jumped back to Apple Home for one last ditch attempt, unplugged it, plugged it back in again at precisely the right moment, and that seemed to do the trick, but I could not replicate that. Either way, something a bit weird going on there, and the fact I had trouble across both devices sort of implies it's inherent and not a one-off hardware issue or some kind of incompatibility with my home controller. Who knows? Once they're in your system, however, Matter support for all of the devices in our comparison is identical, which is exactly as intended for Matter. Color, brightness, power. The only thing I will note is that while Govee and SwitchBot provide stickers on the cable or the controller like it's a sort of afterthought, only Nanoleaf directly prints the pairing code on the hardware itself, which is preferred for me because obviously stickers can lose their stickiness and come off over time, especially if the controller or cable gets warm. Still, I was able to add Govee and Nanoleaf in much the same way, and they all paired and worked as easily as one would hope. Now, to be clear again, these are all Wi-Fi based, and frankly, the state that Thread is in at the moment, that's probably a good thing. Now, Matter offers a common feature set, but you should know that it's a very limited feature set. So Matter exposes controls for color, brightness, and on-off, and that means a single uniform color and a single uniform brightness across the whole strip. There's no effects, no gradients, no scenes, no music reactivity, none of that fancy stuff. For any of that advanced features, you'll need to use the apps. All right, after all of that, which neon rope light is best then? There are some standout points that make picking which neon rope light to buy obvious if they apply to you. The big one is that if you already have a room full of Govee lights, then you're going to pick Govee for compatibility with the DreamView system. The same is true with Nanoleaf and their desktop syncing system. Yes, Matter is supposed to equalize compatibilities between manufacturers, so it shouldn't matter, but in reality, only a subset of those features is replicated in Matter. If you're starting from scratch, I'd also lean towards Govee or Nanoleaf for deeper integration down the line with further parts of the ecosystem. Both offer that similar feature set in terms of TV backlight or music syncing, with Nanoleaf slightly taking the edge there when it comes to ease of use on the app and more professional applications. There is one crucial point that we haven't discussed, of course, and that's price. SwitchBot clocks in at $50 on Amazon, Nanoleaf at $70, and Govee is the more expensive option at $90 at the time of writing. That's for the same 5 meter or 16.4 foot length. Ultimately, though, the difference isn't that much, I think, given the feature set difference. Nanoleaf wins out overall when it comes to sheer ease of use of the app. Govee offers more built-in scenes and far more complex scene builder, but it's also the most unintuitive. As for actual hardware, for complex designs, SwitchBot felt like the easiest to work with, but only marginally. For simple designs with no crossover points, they should all behave very similarly. So, that's it. That was a long one, but that's my thoughts on which neon rope light is best. They all have their pros and cons, as you'd expect, but I hope this did at least prove helpful in going through everything that you should consider. For more Matter insights, reviews, news, and product leaks, head on over to matteralpha.com, where you'll also find a full database of Matter-compatible products. And shameless plug again, if you are trying to map out your neon rope design onto your wall in the right scale, use that website I made, neonropedesigner.com, trace your shape, and it'll figure out the exact scale for you. Thanks for watching. Do remember to like this and consider subscribing for more. Until next time. Oh, I can't. Oh. No, that didn't help.